thank you very much, all your MPs and ministers who are here this evening. It's great that you're here because it shows that you have a genuine affinity for Landcare in your electorates, and we all, particularly regional members. It's Landcare very much for us, but in the city it's very much bush care, and we've also got coast care as well. So all these different types of caring for our land, caring for our environment, very, very important.
With the securing of $15 million of funding was really the kickstart to build on the relationships, particularly with local land services, that I hear are flourishing, that are going really well. So congratulations to one and all. I think Landcare has an enormously exciting future to play and a vital role to play in our natural resource management of this state into the future. So congratulations to Katrina and all the parliamentarians here who I acknowledge all in one. Thank you for your support of Landcare. It's essential that we continue to spread as parliamentarians and leaders of our community the value of Landcare and what we do as a parliament to support their efforts, 99% voluntary efforts. And at a time when we're losing voluntary capacities across so many of our community groups, Landcare is thriving, and I think that's a great credit to the movement, to the organisation, to the value and investment you put back into the community. So congratulations one and all. Thank you, Katrina, and congratulations on establishing this group and for your pioneering support of Landcare from 2011 onwards.
Can't be left to governments alone. There's not enough funds within the government coffers to battle this challenge on their own. So it's obvious that it needs the commitment and the involvement of the whole community. So in 2016, 27 years after it began, Landcare remains as relevant as ever. And I'm pleased to say that Landcare in New South Wales, as a result of the current program and government policies, is undergoing a resurgence in New South Wales. We now have 66 part-time local coordinators based in Landcare organisations right around the state. And I'd like to acknowledge the partnership between Landcare New South Wales and Local Land Services that is responsible for delivering this policy and this program. The joint management committee that we've established between Landcare and Local Land Services is functioning extremely well. It's a very innovative piece of architecture, and I can say all the reports at this stage are very, very good. Already the new coordinators have been a catalyst for renewed activity across the state. Groups that have laid dormant are now coming to life. New people are now getting involved. Groups are deciding what they want to do and applying for project funds, and as a result we'll see even more funds coming into communities, especially in regional and rural New South Wales. So a strong and healthy Landcare network is good for everyone. It means we're better able to respond to local priorities and to work with governments on state policies and to take advantage of grant programs or partnership opportunities. For instance, take the recently released biodiversity reforms. These reforms rely on government engaging private landowners who are responsible, let me remind you, for 70% of the land in New South Wales. They rely on getting communities owning the problem and agreeing to be part of the solution. I think that's really, really important and really, really powerful. Landcare's genesis, let me remind you, was a meeting of the minds between farmers and conservationists. This remains a core value for the Landcare movement. So it's crucial for Landcare to be involved in the biodiversity reform process, and we look forward to exploring what role Landcare can play in partnership with government and other organisations.
And Nambucca Valley Landcare received 0.3 EFT, which translates to 11.25 hours. Now that doesn't sound very much, but it has proved to be a catalyst for some enormous positive change within the organisation. We didn't want to use the money to just do more business as usual. As I've already explained, we didn't actually like business as usual very much. So we wanted to use this as an opportunity to make a real change to the way that Nambucca Valley Landcare operates. The committee therefore went through a strategic planning process, which was a bit novel to most of them, to work out what we wanted to achieve as an organisation over the next 3 years. And key to this is going to be reinvigorating the individual Landcare groups. We now have a vision in our strategic plan, and that is that there is a well-supported, engaged and active Landcare community in the Nambucca Valley, achieving improved productivity and environmental outcomes. The availability of this funding has enabled Nambucca Valley Landcare to again be proactive and forward-looking It's brought some much needed generational change to the organisation. It's also provided the committee and the staff with a new sense of optimism and enthusiasm, which we're hoping will now extend into the broader Landcare community. But we clearly recognise that we need to spend the next 3 years wisely, not only by increasing our NRM activities and re-engaging our Landcare groups to broaden the reach of what we do, but also by developing new partnerships and securing new sources of funding, which will ensure the long-term viability of the Landcare community in the Nambucca Valley.
That excitement grew when I went to the Local Landcare Coordinator workshop in Stockton just a few weeks ago. I was absolutely humbled and inspired by the depth, experience and expertise that was in the room. And not only that, but I was motivated by how this could be a professional career for me, and how also I could be part of this social movement that brought together such a diverse group of people. It was with a common vision for the future. And that's an incredibly powerful place to be. So just in closing, the reason, like many people in this room, that I joined the public services because I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself. And now, being part of the Landcare movement, I finally feel that I am actually part of something bigger than myself. And I can follow my passion and contribute to my community in a movement with a very inspiring history and a very exciting future.
Can I acknowledge Rob and his executive, because Landcare not only brought that corporate knowledge, that history of working with diverse groups, environmentalists and farmers, the branding, which is such a positive thing across regional New South Wales, but also a hell of a lot of sweat equity that is put in there by their volunteers. So that's what they brought to the table. But then how do you marry those two organisations together to have joint responsibility for a program like this? And that's very difficult to look at the governance and how that operates. And can I acknowledge Dr. Kennery for the role that he played in helping for that welding together, because it was certainly new territory. So that was a great platform to start. But I think one of the biggest successes of where we are today is that when we decided to go out for those local coordinators, it wasn't us as government telling communities where these coordinators are going to be. It was, we put it out there for the communities to put their hand up and say, hey, we want one of these. And whether it's 11.3 or whether it's 20 or how many hours per week, there was a risk with that. And unfortunately, the risk was that we were oversubscribed and we had to tell some of those people that applied for those coordinators that they couldn't have them. But to me, that also is unique in a sense, that government putting that out to the communities to say, well, you tell us where they should be going. And that's what this is genuinely about. It's a partnership between government through LLS and through Landcare. And if we continue along those models and we continue to engage with people like we've heard speak tonight, I think the road to success is certainly going to be quite an easy one. Congratulations to Katrina and the friendship group, that it doesn't matter who is sitting in my chair as the minister. This should be an event that continues on into the future. The success of this logo is something that continues on well and truly into the future. And you do that by getting all of us engaged, whether it's Labor, Green, whether it's any of the other parties, Nationals, Liberals or anyone else. We're all committed to this because it's a fantastic movement that can derive fantastic results for everyone in New South Wales. Doesn't matter which way you vote. So thank you to the coordinators of the friendship group, thank you to Landcare, thank you to LLS, and enjoy the rest of the night.
There's also another very important acknowledgement. I'd like to acknowledge Jenny Wheatley. Jenny's the Chief Executive Officer of the Vincent Fairfax Family Foundation. Their support for Landcare has been nothing short of remarkable and catalytic. I can safely say that without their support, I don't think we've been able to get to the point where we are now with the wonderful program that's supported by the current government. I also, thank you. I'd also like to acknowledge the fact that the work that they do often goes unheralded, and I think this particular situation demonstrates a wonderful partnership between what can be achieved when government and community and industry and philanthropy work together to achieve things. And we're certainly looking forward to more of the same when we establish the Landcare Trust moving forward. So thanks, Jenny, for your support.